What's going on, everyone? I'm Zach.
And I'm John, and welcome to the Whiskey Neck Pour. Zach and I will be exploring the ins and outs of whiskey and the community that brought us closer together. Zach and I have been friends since high school, and recently, just like you guys, have all become taters.
That's right. We're all super taters here. This is not just going to be another whiskey review channel. We are going to be exploring some different whiskeys and bourbons and things like that, doing reviews, but we're also going to be talking about the history of some of the bottles that we're going to be drinking, some of the hype behind them, the scarcity of the bottles, and then we're going to try to answer that question of, is it worth the hunt?
Yeah, is it worth it? So not only will we be talking about the bottles like Zach was saying, but each episode we're going to take the neck pour of every whiskey bottle that we open and pour it right into our infinity barrel. So whether it's George T. Stagg or whether it's Mellow Corn, we don't care. It's going in.
Yep. So we're going to talk about the neck pour for a second. So John, what exactly is the neck pour?
So by definition, the neck pour is really the first pour out of the whiskey bottle, right? That's kind of the whiskey that sits like in the neck of each bottle, right? And why this is highly debated is there's no scientific proof here that this whiskey tastes any different than the whiskey down here, because in theory, it's all the same whiskey, right? But for those taters out there like ourselves, or for any person that drinks whiskey consistently, what happens is essentially the more whiskey you drink, the more the bottle has the ability to kind of open up, and the more oxygen you expose to the bottle, I think you get more of the tasting notes that the manufacturer kind of recommends as they taste it. And so I think that's kind of the important part of the neck pour. Our idea is, hey, we can only make it better if we age it ourselves. So no matter what we open, we're going to put it in here.
Exactly. So not only the age, but we're also going to be looking for a pretty wide variety of different flavors that we're going to be adding. So like John was saying earlier, anything from George T. Stagg all the way to Mellow Corn, we're going to put it in there and kind of see what flavors we can get out of our infinity barrel. Once we get past the neck pour of each of these bottles, we're actually going to be tasting the whiskeys that we're pouring in there as well.
Yeah, and the one thing that we kind of noticed is we don't want to be the experts on the whiskey. I mean, we're two friends, we're trying to enjoy whiskey, so we don't have the most sophisticated palate here. I'm not going to be able to pull out the vanilla of a $100 bottle versus a $1,000 bottle. So we're not trying to be the professionals, but what we are trying to do is just kind of give you an honest review of every bottle we try. So there's going to be bottles that we really love. There's going to be some bottles we really hate. And what we want to do is we want to take that stigma from, hey, is a bottle of George T. Stagg really the best bottle out there for the money, or is it really just overhyped? So we may hate it, we might love it, but no matter what, we're going to rate it.
So along with the rating, how we're going to do that is kind of on a scale of 1 to 10 corks. So we're going to be rating the taste, the smell, the mouthfeel, the accessibility, and kind of the overall presentation of each bottles.
And to clarify, 1's going to be absolute worst. Do not waste your money. 10 is going to be you cannot run fast enough to the store to buy this product. But that being said, we've done enough talking, so let's be about it.
We've got a base. So we are going to be starting with 12 and a quarter liters of whiskey bourbon to put in there. The benchmark, we are going to have I want to say it's 7 liters of benchmark that's going in, and then we've got another 5 and a quarter of the Kentucky Gentleman that's going in. So we're going to go ahead and get started. We're going to start pouring some of these in. We'll get the neck pours in. We'll pour some tasting, and we'll give you our thoughts on it.
Yeah. So let's start with the benchmark. The one thing that's going to stay consistent with our channel, no matter what bottle we open, we are pouring the neck pour into our infinity barrel. So by no means are me and Zach a bartender, but we're going to call this the 2 to 3 ounce neck pour. So I'd say that's good.
That's good, yeah.
So we're going to start with benchmark. Little thing about benchmark, we're both pretty big Buffalo Trace fans, so that's why we decided on this brand itself. Obviously, this is one of the very much cheaper bottles you can buy. So we figured this would be a good base.
I think when we looked it up too, they aged the benchmark. So this offering was in for what, 36 months?
36 months is on average is how long they do benchmark.
We can just pour that right on in.
Let's pour it. Let's add it in.
All right. While that's going, we're going to give you guys our thoughts on this here.
So the first one, we're going to do the smell.
Not a lot happening.
Yeah, I would agree with that. There's not a lot of smell here. Obviously you can smell. You can smell some of the liquor in here. When I say that,
Yeah, it's got some of those pretty straightforward. You can smell the oak, you can smell the caramel and the sweetness in it.
I'm getting a little caramel, I'm getting a little sweetness, but not being a sophisticated person, I can tell you,
That's about it for me.
yeah, it smells like a generic whiskey. I mean, I don't think I'd be happy if you poured this at a bar to me. But
Just for like a neat pour or something like that.
Oh, yeah,
I mean, if you're going to mix this, that would be totally fine, yeah. A little bit about the benchmarks. So Virginia ABC is where we got all of our stuff. We're based in Virginia. I think these were about $22 before taxes. So real base, real cheap.
Pretty cheap for a 1.75.
Yeah. So the taste. What you got?
Not bad. Not bad for a $22 bottle, honestly. I'm going to say I taste a little bit of the oakiness. I'm going to say I taste a little bit of vanilla, but I'm really just kind of getting the oakiness out of this bottle at this point. Nothing to really brag about. I wouldn't, ride home with it, but
Not super complex. There's just very sort of straightforward. You're getting what you pay for, basically. Is kind of what this feels like.
mouthfeel, I don't enjoy this one. This one, to me, when I put this in my mouth, I'm getting a lot of ethanol. I'm getting a lot of alcohol, like just straight ethanol taste. I'm not really getting that complex flavor that whiskey can really take on as it ages over time. I'm just getting more of that just brutal kind of corn taste, I would say.
It's real thin. It's not very thick. It doesn't really. I know a lot of people will describe stuff as coating the mouth. Is was one of the things. I'm not really experiencing that a whole lot with this, but it's not too bad. So if you had to go, let's do accessibility.
Look, if you can't find this on the shelf, there's a problem. This should be available anywhere in the United States or Canada. It's a pretty available whiskey. It's the lower grade of the whiskeys here, so that you're going to have to look low, but it's going to be there. Presentation of the bottle, it's a generic-looking bottle. It's plastic. There's no cork. This isn't, trying to come up against the heavy hitters. I think this is kind of for, your mixers, that kind of stuff. So on a taking all that into consideration on a 1 to 10 cork scale, I think I'd probably hit this at a 3 cork. I think I hit it at a 3 cork.
I think for me, this is probably around a 5. Only because it's not hateful. It doesn't taste bad. It's real cheap. It's easy to find. It's just not. There's not a lot happening there. So, scale of 1 to 10 corks. I'm going to go right in the middle of the road there on a 5.
Yeah. So should you buy it is the question.
I'm not going to buy this for a daily drinker. I would really only buy this for something like this, or if you're having a big party, you got a lot of people over, you need a mixer for a lot of people. This is this is a good go-to.
I'm buying this if I'm throwing a party and I hate my friends. So that's why I'm buying this bottle for sure.
All right.
Next bottle, bringing out the old
Kentucky Gentleman.
Yep. So going back into it again, doesn't matter what bottle it is. Put a neck pour it.
So we haven't done a ton of research on this, so we don't know what the age statement on it is, but probably along the lines of the benchmark. This is a Heaven Hill product, right?
This is a Heaven Hill product. The reason why we went with this one is not only is it Heaven Hill, but it was on sale. So we did find one of the cheaper ones we could buy. But let's give it an honest rating and see if it's worth the money.
So at the Virginia ABC, how much was that?
On sale, $16.99 for a 1.75.
All right, $120.
It's pretty cheap. So low expectations, but maybe they'll change our mind.
All right, let's do the smell here.
I'm going to be honest. The smell, love it. I'm smelling a lot of caramel in that smell.
See, I don't get that. I really don't smell a lot of anything on here. It smells super flat, super bland. There's not a lot happening there.
Taste, not only am I tasting like the oakiness of this product, but I am picking up hints of caramel and a little bit of vanilla here. But just overall, the taste of this product, it is not hateful. If you had told me this was a $14, $16 bottle, I don't know if I'd believe you. It definitely doesn't bring the heat to the party. I mean, this is not something that has any kind of heat at all.
Yeah.
Does not burn, does not coat, does not anything. But I am getting a good flavor here. And I think this is one of the products that, honestly, if it was aged longer, I mean, this is a strong product.
For the taste, I mean, I can definitely. It's got some sweetness to it. I can definitely taste some of the oak. It tastes like it's only been aged, I don't know, maybe half the time as the benchmark. So benchmark was about 3 years. I'm thinking this was probably aged around 2, maybe 2 years.
Whatever they're doing, I'm going to say keep doing it, guys. I like it. I don't hate this product. Would I do this as a daily sipper? Absolutely not. I mean, we are trying to fill up an infinity barrel, obviously.
Yeah.
But if you put this in a blind taste test in a category of 80 proof, I'm going to tell you right now that I'm not going to hate this one.
So we're probably going to end up having to do that then, just to kind of see where this falls for you in the blind.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But on a taste level, I enjoy it. I'm going to say 1 out of 10 corks. This is a 4 for me. I think this is better than the benchmark. If you put these two in a blind taste test, I'm picking this one all day. I like it.
I think the benchmark was at a 5 for me. This is probably around a 4.
Okay.
I don't know that I would actually use this as a mixer. It just feels like it's missing a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, guys, again, these are just going to be our filler bottles to just kind of get some liquid in our infinity barrel. Moving forward, we are going to pour every neck pour that we're going to try. So we definitely got some good bottles back here that we're going to be going to. We obviously want your input to kind of give us some guidelines of what you want us to taste. So we're definitely open to that kind of stuff.
If you like what we're doing, if you like what you see, please make sure to like and subscribe. Leave a comment. We would appreciate the feedback. If you guys want to see anything in particular, we would love to kind of get an opportunity to do some interesting and fun reviews. We also are on Instagram. You can follow us at Whiskey Neck Pour. We plan to release a new video weekly, probably on Wednesdays. We hope to see all you taters next week.
Tater out.